I am joined by Robert Griffin III, James White, Field Yates Minakaims.
All right, so first play we're going to look at 2nd and 2, one of the Patriots' first offensive plays.
We're here to break down Drake Maye. We got to talk about it, even though he's not going to start this week. It is going to be Jacoby Brissett continuing on as the Patriots starter. But everyone wants to know what we think about Drake Maye because he, I don't have the stats in front of me, but he had a long drive and he looked okay. There was some good, there was some bad to take away from it. So what we're going to do, Taylor's going to pull it up and we're going to break down every single play from the rookie's first game action. So Taylor, get us started.
First of all, I see the comments. Y'all are so sweet. This is making me feel a lot better because I feel like a silly doo-doo head. But yeah, we're doing our best. We're learning. Love you guys a lot.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, Drake Maye's opening drive. Now, Drake Maye wasn't very happy with his drive. Like I think he acknowledged in the locker room he could have done some things better. Alex Van Pelt mentioned there were some good things, but also his footwork wasn't great. This is a drive where you see the flashes, where it's like, yes, I would love for Drake Maye to be the quarterback right now. I don't care about the offensive line. He'll make everything work. But you also saw the flashes of why Drake Maye, he's not going to be a finished product whenever he does get out there. But there are certain things that you can improve on in practice and at least be consistent at, because when you get in the game, you're going to be tested. And that's when your fundamentals are really going to come into play, or your bad habits are going to come to the forefront. So once again, this isn't necessarily to say that putting him in even next week against the Dolphins is the bad step. I'm just saying these are the things you need to be wary of for when Drake Maye plays, but also the flashes of brilliance that he showed and the ability to make big plays in huge moments was huge. He's a big reason the Patriots are now 3 for 3 on their 4th down attempts actually on the season, which is a pretty wild stat considering the way these games have turned out.
Yep.
Well, this first play, I'm going to run it for you. His first play, unfortunately, was a turnover.
Oh, man, what are you doing?
That was going to be ugly to Austin Hooper. So breaking it down. Front side, the Patriots are running a stick concept.
Yeah.
Super basic, one of their core plays, like we talked about it. Aaron Rodgers ran it earlier in this breakdown. To the backside, we're going to get a curl from Kayshon Boutte as the X receiver. Now, the Jets on the back end are going to run a quarters, but it's going to be a matched quarters. So what they're going to do here is these guys, where is that flashlight? These guys are going to be in their deep quarters techniques, but they want to flood this side against a 3-by-1. You got 3 receivers right here. You're saying, hey, I'm not scared of Kayshon Boutte. I trust Sauce to be able to handle him one-on-one. So they're in man coverage. This linebacker's in man coverage. And then all the zones are going to try to basically take away this side of the field. Now, the mistake here that Drake makes is when he gets the ball, first of all, I like, and this is something we saw from him in the summer, Jacoby does a great job of when he gets these slants. If you try to throw a stick by catching it, immediately turning and throwing, smart linebackers are going to pick it off. We saw Matt Milano do that against Mac Jones. I think it was his rookie year, or at least the next year. It was a really ugly play. So what Jacoby does a great job of is he'll take the snap, look right downfield, and then trust that his route's going to be open, turn, and throw. Mm-hmm. But one of the reasons Jacoby is such a great veteran quarterback and someone they want out there is he's good at the second reactions on quick throws, which are not easy because as a young player, you're just thinking, I got to get the ball out. The secondary part of, wait, what if somebody jumps it isn't always going through your head, because you're just trying to do what you're told.
Right.
So Drake keeps his eyes downfield initially and then looks to the stick to throw it. But you see this guy? Michael Carter's like, okay, this guy's going vertical. I don't know if this is a call technique or not, but Michael Carter's a smart player. It could be either one. Right. But as soon as he sees Osborne declare upfield, he gets his eyes to that stick route. Drake doesn't see it. He still throws it and almost gets intercepted. But you see, even like the way he has his eyes when he's dropping back, it holds this linebacker.
Yeah.
So in his head, he thinks he's doing the right thing because, at least this guy's not going to be able to jump it. But the slot can jump it too. And he almost gets picked off.
Yeah. Again, that's a play where obviously he's a rookie. It's his first game. The stuff you mentioned where is this the same play?
It's the same play.
Yeah. So he holds 44 but he does turn quick. He doesn't really reset his feet. Not that the feet are the issue because it's a quick game. But it's just, it's like what I do like about Drake Maye here, Taylor, is he rebounded. And I think that's huge. Like, I remember, and this is not Patriot centric, but when I was playing quarterback I'm pretty sure 2 or 3 seasons in a row, my first throw was intercepted. Like, I went out there and I just threw a pick. And it was almost like I had to get it out of my system. Like, okay, this is my interception. It's over. And then you bounce back. I like that he was able to bounce back because that can get ugly. That turns ugly quick.
Yep.
So I like that he sees that. He adjusts from it later on. But again, it's so quick and so fast. It's just a great play by Michael Carter. And Drake's lucky he didn't get picked off.
100%. And again, learning experience. Drake Maye is going to throw some interceptions this season. It's going to happen.
Exactly.
I don't think anybody's going to be surprised when it does necessarily. But, these are the things we worry about. So, okay, he's done that. But in a game, is he going to do it again? Right. Or is he going to say, oh, turn that down and throw somewhere else? So,
exactly.
These are the things we need to have bookmarked in our brain. This is going to be another play where Drake Maye shows that he's very young. And we always talk about how Drake Maye is talented enough to make the offensive line look better than it is. But he's still a rookie. And as good as he is with his eyes, as well as he evaded pressure at UNC, he's going to have some moments where he gets a little bit rattled. And this is the reason I don't want him behind a bad offensive line where he creates bad habits. This is going to be – I'm just going to run this real quick. It's going to be a play where Drake Maye is going to drop his eyes and immediately scramble on a play before it even has a chance to develop.
And he had protection. He could have stayed in the pocket here.
Exactly.
Everyone's talking about he can't play behind this bad offensive line, which I agree with. But when Taylor's emojis got out of the way and you play it through, he could have sat there for a second. Instead, I don't know. I don't want to say seeing ghosts. I don't want to say that. But he quickly was like, no, never mind. I don't want to do this. I'm just going to try and run. And that's the kind of stuff you can't have.
Exactly. So once again, you're going to have a stick. It's a different stick. So instead of the slot receiver being the one who runs the vertical route, this is the more traditional version of stick, where the outside guy runs the vertical. Pop is going to run an out, and then Hooper's going to run the stick. But this time, the Jets are in man coverage. You can see boom, boom, boom. It's very obvious. They're not trying to hide it. So against this look, you want to go to the slant. That's KJ Osborne against Sauce. Now, my thing is, maybe he didn't like the matchup. That's completely valid. That could have been what went on here. But what I don't like about this is that he doesn't even give his receiver a chance against this cover one look to even get out of his break. And like you said, there's a clean pocket. We're going to see an example where Drake makes a smart play, not throwing on quick game. But this is one where I think he got rattled, and his eyes are really what tell you why he felt that way. So once again, drop back. Doesn't like it immediately. Big hit too. That's the big thing here. Not only did he drop his eyes, he ran himself into pressure and then got buried. I put this on the offensive line live because, at that point in the game,
right, you had
to.
Like,
oh, yeah, of course it was the offensive line. This one's on Drake.
Yeah.
Boom. And then we'll see it from the end zone angle where you can really tell that he just immediately – see that?
Yeah.
Once again, I'll put the all 22, but look where he is when he comes off this. Osborne isn't even beginning. He's just starting his break.
It's almost like I know that he's not. He knows, okay, KJ's not getting off Sauce. I'm just bailing out right now. Which, now, to be fair, Sauce had him covered, and then the backer takes Gibson out of the backfield. So he doesn't really have anything on that front side, but he bails way too fast. It's almost like he didn't even see that. He just got nervous and did nothing about it.
Exactly. And this is where, okay, so you don't like that. You turn and look at this. Austin Hooper's coming open. You still have a defender. This defender has inside leverage against an out-breaking route. If you don't like the slant, you can still go backside. If you don't
Stick
like
that
Austin
on his
Hooper,
far shoulder. Right.
If you don't like Austin Hooper, you don't really want to hit the Mario Douglas. You don't want to be late. But this has to be like a boom, boom, throw. No hesitation. That backside's I don't like it. You hit your back foot. I don't like it. Quick reset. Prepare to throw.
Right.
If you have to take a sack, it's 3rd and 3. You don't want to, but it happens. But you can't have plays like this where I get you want to try to, put the team on your back and convert here, but you don't want to be taking these hits, especially when you have an opportunity to get the ball out of your hand. And again, I want to show how quickly his eyes go down and he tries to scramble. That's not ideal. Ooh.
From a development standpoint too, Taylor, it's almost like you would have rather seen him look to Austin Hooper, not like it, and then take a sack in the pocket because you know that at least he understands what he's supposed to do, where it just looks like he bails so quickly and panics.
Exactly. I don't know why I did this. Oh, I messed this one up. All right, I'm just going to play the play first so you guys have an idea. But this is going to be another one where I actually think that Drake did a great job here. Not another one. This is a really good play from Drake. So it's going to be a curl on 3rd down. This was on a 3rd and 2. One of the few really good pockets that we got from the night from the Patriots offense. It's not this looks like Haas, right? So it's hitches on the outside and then seams down the middle. But this isn't exactly that because typically against Haas, these outside guys against press would convert to a fade. So this would turn into 4 verticals. Instead, they're locked hitches because they're facing press and they're still running this kind of route. So I think this was a smart decision by Drake against a cover one look where you're going to have, oh my God, these controls are so confusing, where you have one-on-one coverage everywhere. And then these two linebackers who are mugging are basically going to take the back whichever way he goes. Drake goes to the one-on-one matchup he likes. And this is where I also want to note, Drake looked his best this summer, weirdly, outside of the quick game. That's where Jacoby Brissett looks really good. That's where they turned last week, and it really worked for them. Drake looks better in the true drop-back game where it's 3 steps or 5 steps, maybe a hitch, and then he gets the ball out. So that's an example of this here. You're going to see 1, 2, 3, quick hitch, get the ball out on the outside shoulder. So if the defender tried to make a play on this, he couldn't have. That's a good ball. Route just past the sticks, so Booty has room to come back to the ball. Nice catch, first down conversion.
Yep. All good there.
All right. Now, this is going to be a verticals concept where I don't really love what Drake's decision was. I think he had a couple opportunities here. They're bang, bang, and I think it's when you go in the film room and say, hey, maybe you throw with more anticipation here. And I think we actually saw Drake improve on this lapse later in the game. So I'm going to run it for you real quick. So he's going to start. It looks like he has pop available. I think he wants Austin Hooper originally, but we'll see on the replay. He gets sacked, but I think he had some options.
Okay.
So this is going to be really a verticals concept here. You're going to see the hitches outside or curls more because these are more downfield from the outside receivers. Mario Douglas is running up the seam, and then you're going to have Austin Hooper running an over. Also, quick note, the fact that Austin Hooper was in the game here, usually this is Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry was in practice. So I'm thinking that he had gotten hurt at some point like before this, and that was why I was wondering why Hooper was in the game. I was like, maybe they're pulling their veterans, but they didn't pull David Andrews. So, I just wanted to kind of know.
Yeah, I think, Hunter's dealing with something. We'll find out tomorrow after practice.
Yep. But once again, we have another match quarters. So again, it's quarters to the field side with man coverage to the backside. So all zone here to flood this side of the field where you have the 3 receivers, and they're just going to trust their backside guys to win one-on-one. Now, in the preseason, Drake Maye, when he got these looks, would usually go to Javon Baker right here on some type of vertical or a curl and was very comfortable throwing those. But here, looks like he actually wants to go over the middle to Austin Hooper. So 1, 2, 3. You see him looking down the middle. I'm not sure if he even glances at Demario Douglas up the seam here, but you can see that the eyes are on Hooper, who one part of this type of match quarters is that this safety, he's in what we call poach technique. So when you get a crossing route like this, instead of wasting his time paying attention to these guys that are one-on-one, he's going to try to take this route so that every offense out of these looks is trying to run some type of crossing route most of the time. If it's a dig or a cross or whatever, he's going to be able to take it. Drake sees that Hooper's not there, but look, you got Demario Douglas. Like if you hit your drop, you can make an anticipation throw because this safety is dropping pretty far back.
Right.
He's going to have to drive on this throw. You can put this low so that Demario catches it while going to the ground so he can get protected. Or even if you want, you hit your drop, and this is a lot tougher. I'm just saying, maybe if he liked the one-on-one matchup, he throws with anticipation to Jalen Polk, where it's a similar play like we saw with Booty, where he comes back to it. But either way, it's kind of a bang-bang play. It's tough because he does get pressured and ends up getting sacked. But then we're going to look at his eyes. So gets the snap. He looks down the middle. It looks like he may have glanced a little. He
did. I was just going to say that. He gave a quick look outside for a second.
Right. So
and then he comes back to it. And then
exactly. But I'm not sure if he's just trying to read the coverage and then go to Hooper and kind of just going, a little bit of a scan type of deal there. But either way, Hooper's not there. And I feel like this is the moment where he maybe could have had a second reaction throw where he's like, I don't like this. I'm going to make this throw. I also understand maybe he didn't like the window. I don't want to dump on him for this play necessarily. Yeah. It's a little bit bang bang here because as you can see, the twist to the right side of the Patriots offensive line gets home where Layden Robinson, this is where Layden Robinson is getting better. He IDs it. He does a good job, but he can't get there in time to actually make the play and stop his quarterback from getting hit. So that's tough. And then you also see Zach Thomas takes a little bit of an L there. He loses inside. Probably thinks he has more help from David Andrews than he does. But because of the twist, Andrews can't help him. He has to pick this up, Michael Clemens, and then the inside gets given up. So that's a tough play. But I also kind of want to bring it up because we're going to touch on it again later. Any thoughts on that one before I move on?
Not necessarily. I think, again, it's I have thoughts on pressure in your face that we'll get to later when we finish this thing up with our other thoughts on stuff. So you can go on.
Oh, hey, mama. Teek's here. Sorry, Dad's got work, okay?
Hi, Teeks.
All right. If I don't say that, she won't stop. It didn't even work. All right.
That's so
All right,
fun.
so this play is going to be a really quick scramble, and this is one where I actually liked Drake's decision to get out of the pocket on a third down on a quick concept. So Patriots are running all slants, double slants on both sides, a mirrored concept. They're running this in high school. This is a very basic concept, and it's a good call for what he's facing. This is man coverage across the board, cover one. Basically, wherever his matchup is that he likes, that's where he's going to go to. Here, the matchup he likes, as you see in red, is going to be Hunter Henry initially. So he's going to take the snap and look to Henry. Now, I don't know if he feels, I don't think he sees him. I think he may feel this defender getting into this window and maybe doesn't trust that he can get this to Hooper, and then Hooper gets to the first down marker.
Yeah.
This defender closing ground. It's so bang, bang. It's hard to know exactly what Drake Maye's thought process was without asking him. But here, he feels that the entire left side of the offensive line is vulnerable, right? He's got a little bit of an escape hatch here. So great instincts by him saying, you know what? I don't like the throw, but I do have space. Gets out of the pocket, shows that speed where Jacoby Brissett, this might not be a conversion. And this was a fourth down.
Yeah.
This is 4th and 10, or I'm sorry, 4th and 8. So there's no like, oh, maybe I can convert. It's like, no, you need to get to the first down. So with Jacoby, we have no idea if this gets converted, but with Drake Maye, you see he's got some wheels and he's able to get out.
Understanding the coverage, understanding that you have man-to-man on the outside, you feel the pressure come inside from that edge rusher on your left tackle, and you know that the linebacker shoots out to Hunter Henry. Oh, nobody's on the left side. I'm Drake Maye, and I can get 8 yards here. Instead of giving it to Hunter for 4, you threaten him getting tackled. You threaten a cornerback coming in and helping out. You don't convert. Instead, he knows what he can do with his legs. So I like this. I'm with you. I think because he reads it out, right? He knows that he doesn't have Hunter, and then he breaks. Where before, he didn't read out the quick game at all. So I'm fine with this. He scampers for a first down. That's what you want to see from him.
Yep. So this play, it's going to be the last one that we show. Also, real quick, I got to give credit to Quinnen Williams before we move off this, because the Jets did a great job, and teams are doing this more. They've done it this season. I was curious why they didn't do it more often in previous seasons, but putting your best pass rusher one-on-one on David Andrews, if it's an obvious passing situation and it's long yardage, you're probably going to win that. As much as we all love and respect David Andrews, he's a center, first of all. You don't expect centers to block anybody's premier pass rushers, and he's also an older guy. So Quinnen Williams immediately gets pushed against David Andrews, who does a decent job still turning him out of the gap. But that's part of this, where Drake can feel as he's about to throw that pressure's right in his face. So again, really good job by him getting outside the pocket and keeping this one alive. Now, this is the last play. Oh, I'm sorry, the second to last play that we are going to show. This was the best throw that Drake Maye had on the night. And this is one of the signs where I thought that he may have shown a little bit of improvement against
Wait, we're missing one. This is the bad one to Hooper first.
Oh, wait, what in the world? Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh my gosh.
We have this, then we have the pop.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all.
Nope, you're good.
Yeah, this is one where, again, it's kind of some of that quicker footwork where you don't love necessarily what he does with his feet, even though I don't hate the read necessarily. I just feel like he has options. So I'll run it first, and then we'll go through what actually happens on the play. I think it accidentally got deleted in the script. That's my bad.
Okay.
Okay, so the Patriots are running, once again, a stick concept where you're going to have the inside guy, the number 2, running up the seam. Then this time, instead of Hunter Henry or a tight end, you're going to have Demario Douglas running the stick route. And then you're going to have, I think this is Kayshon Boutte on a hitch. Then on the other side of the field, Hunter Henry back in the game. Or I'm sorry, Austin Hooper back in the game. He's going to run a whip on a high-low concept with Osborne on the dig. Basically, you're reading this defender and seeing, all right, if he bites on this, maybe I'll throw behind him. But also sometimes this safety can jump down on this route. You don't want to put your guy in a bad spot. And then the Jets on the other end are going to be running cover 3 buzz, where this safety is going to be dropping down. And then you're going to have the single high safety and off coverage on the outside. But one thing about this formation, this was an adjustment that the Patriots made in week 3 that I loved, where I was wondering why they weren't putting Demario Douglas as the number 3 in these empty formations, because if a defense is in zone coverage, 90% of the time, that guy is going to end up being covered by a linebacker because you kind of have to shift your coverages one way or another. And this was great because it got Demario Douglas the ball in space, quick situation where he can make guys miss. So Drake is actually going to look to him first, doesn't like it, even though with this much space, like it'd be one thing if there was a defender here or here, like we saw with the other stick where he's going to jump on it. I would understand. But with this leverage, Demario Douglas breaking outside, you can complete that pretty easily. If you don't like that, you still have Kayshon Boutte right here. He's open, and his defender's way off. You could probably make that throw with Drake Maye's arm.
Does he not want to test Sauce Gardner yet?
Maybe that's it. I'm not sure. But like Mac Jones, I wouldn't want to see this throw. But like, I think I can make this. But even still, okay, he doesn't like it. Fine. You do have a little bit of an advantage here with Austin Hooper running the whip against a defender with inside leverage. But what you're going to see also is as Drake moves his feet, when he goes to throw, you see his top foot. That doesn't really help. But that foot is going to kind of whip outside as he's making.
Oh, yeah.
What you want to do, like you see how he does this little pivot here? You really want his feet to be set and then he makes the throw. You don't want him to have to open while he's throwing, because what happens is he opens, his foot is out here. His foot,
but his foot's pointed toward the sideline. It's not pointed toward his target.
Here,
right.
Exactly. And Austin Hooper's here, and then the ball sails.
That's why it fans on him. Yep.
So those are some of the times that, like, and that happened a few times with Drake Maye's footwork. Like, sometimes it was a little tight. Sometimes, like, you'd see him drift, and we'll get to that. But the footwork definitely still does need some work. Now, this is the play that I actually liked.
This is
really
awesome.
Good anticipation from him. And then throwing the seam to Demario Douglas that he didn't throw earlier. Also, I think it's a good job from Demario Douglas finding space against his own coverage. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right. So this is I'm not sure if this is Haas or not. No, this is not Haas. This is verticals because the outside guys are an off coverage, but they're still going to run their vertical routes. Yep. And then what you're going to see from the Jets is another cover 3 buzz. So this safety is going to drop down. This guy's going to take the deep middle. Now, traditionally, against like a 4 verticals concept, you want to read where that post safety is and throw away from wherever he's dropping, because that's usually where the vulnerability is going to be down the seams. So remember last time, Demario Douglas, that bender, if Drake Maye had anticipated it, he probably could have hit him there, but didn't. Here you see in the same drive, and you pointed this out in a tweet, the snap's not even good. He actually gets it when he's not expecting it to his left, still adjusts, gets in his drop back, and throws this ball
away from the roll.
Exactly. So this safety, he's on the hash, but he's not really a threat. He's backing up. There's plenty of space here to make this throw with the Michael Carter, the slot corner, really fading outside more. Maybe he's anticipating some kind of throw here. Drake Maye sees it, shows great anticipation because this is not the window. If he throws here, this ball's getting picked off. It might be a pick going the other way. Instead, he shows anticipation of making the throw, but doing it past the linebacker so that Demario Douglas had more space and was able to actually turn this into a positive gain. And I believe I have the end zone angle for this. I hope I do. Let's see if I put the
because this is where you can see he's not looking for the snap, right? He's looking to his left. And it hits him right in the left shoulder. He's like, oh, here we go. And he does drift. He does drift into that. So then he has to make his adjustment but that's nice. That is good stuff. That's on a rocket too.
And this is one thing from Drake Maye. Now in college, sometimes he would drift and it made sense because he knew he was going to get pressured from one side. So he was trying to buy time and then throw. But what he also does sometimes is on twists like you see here, when this happens, he'll feel that there is space here and he'll start to drift towards it. So you see that? Like he kind of dovetails a little bit at the top. I know that JT O'Sullivan says dovetailing is good. I don't think dovetailing is good here because he ends up drifting himself into the loop.
Right.
And that's one thing that really worries me about his game is teams are going to know this and they're going to send like those pirate stunts where, oh, look, no one's there. Then a linebacker is going to come all the way around and clean his clock. So he's got to be more careful about this, but does a great job here. Okay, this rusher is here. I'm just going to slide to let my tackle take him and deliver a beautiful throw before my receivers even cross the defender. That's a great play. Play of the night from Drake Maye, where you see, he's going to make his mistakes, but he also has the talent and the intelligence to be able to make up for the mistakes that he makes in a game or in a down.
Yep. And so then we get into the last one, Taylor, where it's really just he takes a sack for the end. But go ahead.
Yes, I like this sack. It's going to sound odd, but it's a smart sack, okay? So you see it. He gets taken down. He wanted Kayshon Boutte to the right. But why did he take the sack? Now we have another all slants concept in the red zone. And this is it's so annoying trying to figure out what teams are doing in the red zone because there's so many different types of techniques, especially with these split safety teams where like they're basically just trying to bracket certain players. My read on this is that they're trying to bracket KJ Osborne as the only wide receiver to this side. I think they're trying to bracket Demario Douglas in the slot, and then they're just trusting DJ Reed to win one-on-one on the outside route to Kayshon Boutte. Then on the inside, this is how you can tell it's a zone coverage because I think he's walling off the tight end. I don't know that he's in man coverage. Like he's basically saying, okay, if the tight end wants to run like a crosser, I'm going to cut it off. And then you have more inside help right here. Hope I didn't just like lose everybody with that explanation. Red zone coverages are very annoying.
They are tough.
But Drake Maye is going to say, okay, based on like the leverage, like you can even see with the eyes, these guys are looking both to KJ Osborne. And here you can kind of see it's most likely these two guys are taking pop. So what do you got? A one-on-one on the outside. Now, Kayshon runs the route, and there's maybe, but you can also see DJ Reed knows, okay, with this alignment, either he's running a slant or he's running a fade.
Yeah.
So DJ Reed is saying, all right, I'm going to wait till you get a little close and making you declare your route. Like you see where he's at, he's not going to like be nervous because he has his heels on the front line of the end zone. So it's like, all right, if you're going to run a fade, you have to get past me. And then I can just squeeze you as you go downfield and try to break it up. But he knows it's probably going to be a slant. So he jumps it, and Drake's about to make this throw, but he sees that DJ Reed already knows it's coming, tucks it, tries to go to his next read. But as you can see, DeMontre Jacobs loses inside. Zach Thomas can't get there in time to help. And it looks like there's also some heat coming off the right side with Layden Robinson getting pushed back and then losing on the inside. So, yes, it's a sack. And this is one of those where, like, on the stat sheet, yeah, it looks bad. It's like, oh, Drake, you could have
another sack. Yeah.
Why don't you test the tight window? And this wound up being the last play. The Patriots could have called a timeout. This was a first. What play was this? This was a what down was
first down. It was first down after the Demario Douglas conversion.
It was first down. So they could have called a timeout and tried to run another play. I think they were just like, you know what, we're done. Our quarterback got hit again. We're just going to go in the locker room and take our L. But again, I like this from Drake Maye, not throwing into what could have been a pick six potentially, instead deciding to get off the read. And just, sometimes you got to know when to eat it and when to live to fight another down, and that's exactly what he did there.
Better off taking a sack than throwing an interception in pretty much any and all situations there. So that's our breakdown of Drake Maye.
Support us and sign up at Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS or download the app today and use code CLNS at prizepicks.com/CLNS and get $50 instantly when you play $5.